You have a big party to go to, a networking event, or some social get together where you know you'll meet new people that you'll want to win over. You're feeling a bit nervous on what you can do to stand out and make a strong first impression with others. What can be done? In this video, I'm going to walk you through some of the best tips backed by psychology on nailing those first impressions and what you can expect from this channel, so stick around. Hello and welcome to Psychology of Living, the YouTube channel where my goal is to make psychology make sense. My name's Jeff and I believe that too many people lead a life of suffering and frustration because they don't understand themselves or the world around them. To help with this, I'll be covering topics like human behavior, leadership, workplace culture, emotions, relationships, and so much more. Also, I'll be breaking these topics up into bite-sized pieces of advice that you and your loved ones can apply today to help improve things. The value here specifically is that you can improve your relationships, get better jobs, discover your purpose, live a more fulfilling life, and just help those around you love by giving practical tips of advice. This only happens if you genuinely put in the work yourself. No one's going to do it for you. And the problem is that a lot of us have access to the tools and resources. We just don't know it, or we have no idea how to use them ourselves. This is where I come in. I have a Master of Science degree in Industrial Organizational Psychology. More on what that is later. I've worked at some of the largest organizations in the world like Microsoft. I've spoken at universities like UCLA, USC, UCI, and many more. I've worked with viral YouTubers in a whole plethora of different industries, helping all these people apply psychology in their day-to-day lives. I've traveled all over the world helping people do this stuff, and I've learned from so many brilliant minds. So my hope is that I can take this passion, perspective, and experience and give that back to you guys. I'm very fortunate because I get to call this not only my job, but a passion as well. The people here specifically that I'm trying to serve are those who don't have any healthy role models, those without any purpose, and those who are struggling with their relationships and mental health issues that literally just wonder, how does anyone figure this out in the first place? It's for the frustrated leader who doesn't know how to effectively lead their team, the challenged student who can't pick a major, or the agitated, aimless people who just can't have support with their own development. I want to help shift the ways that you're thinking and behaving so that way you can start living a more fulfilling life. Seeing how this is your first impression with this channel and its content, I want to give you some advice on first impressions. Let me know in the comments below your best or worst first impression story. Number 1. Try your best to be playful when answering and asking specific questions. Think of the usual things that you're probably going to be asked in a social get-together, like what do you do for work, or what kinds of things do you do for fun? Try to prepare answers ahead of time with a little bit of sarcasm mixed in to just make it a little more playful and witty. That way, it's not just going to seem like a run-of-the-mill answer that anyone could provide. Also, be sure to spin it back on them and ask them questions. People love talking about themselves. In fact, people love talking about themselves so much that Harvard researchers actually found in one study when they put people up to an fMRI machine, when they studied their brain waves, when they were talking about themselves versus other people, regions of the brain associated with reward and motivation were significantly more lit up when people talked about themselves versus other people. The need for validation and to talk about ourselves is so strong that even when offered money, some people refuse so that they could continue to talk about themselves in other Harvard studies. Number 2, make a strong and confident entrance the next time you're going somewhere. And when you enter the room, be sure to have good energy, eye contact, and a big smile. By entering the room with that heightened energy level above everyone else, people are immediately going to be drawn to you and what you're bringing into the room. This shift in energy is going to have more people drawn to you than just the average person. Channel that energy to others by looking for opportunities to be verbally positive, to give compliments and lift people up. Give genuine appreciation toward those you're speaking with. Don't lie and don't be over the top. Also, try your best to avoid trying to do this at the expense of someone else and their character. Number 3, where appropriate, try and lead with touch. A well-timed hug or handshake can go a massive way on those first impressions when people are first seeing you. It shows that you're actually making an effort to get to know them, right? Don't be a creep about it. Try and read the room and those around you. Watch how others are interacting and what they do when you or others get close to them. Don't go out of your way to make contact, but look for an instance at the beginning or the end of a conversation if appropriate. Human touch releases a hormone called oxytocin. This is a hormone that comes from the hypothalamus in our brain. It literally changes our physiology. It can help lower stress, reduce anxiety, and improve trust between people. Again, tread with caution here. Put yourself in the mindset that these new people that you're talking to are people that you're super comfortable with in the first place, someone that you've known for a really, really long time already. Number 4, be an encouraging listener. Be more interested than interesting. The more you're putting the spotlight on yourself and saying, look at me, look how great I am, it's gonna actually push people away from you a vast majority of the times. Make strong eye contact with those you're speaking to, and be sure to repeat back what you've heard from them. This will show that you're actively paying attention and listening to what they have to say. You have to be careful though, to not sound like a police investigator. For every one question that you ask, you should be providing 2 to 3 statements back to the other person, commenting specifically on what they said to you, or adding to what's already being talked about. Try your best to listen about 80% of the time and speak 20% of the time. Look for opportunities where you can be respectful and set really clear, open boundaries. Be specific on what you stand for and what your values are without really disagreeing or agreeing with every single thing that's being said in the conversation. So by taking that step and applying these in your next first impressions, you can make a huge difference in how people perceive you. So today I explained a little bit about what I do for a living, why I love it so much, and how I plan to use that to help you all. I went over some various struggles that people tend to face and how to improve your first impressions. We have so much more to talk about, and this is just the beginning stages of forming this community. And keep in mind that none of this would exist if it weren't for you watching. So I appreciate that. Do keep in mind that this channel is for you all. So if you're interested in any topic in psychology or have specific questions, drop them in the comments below and I'll be happy to cover them. So for all things psychology to help you think, feel, and perform better, this is Psychology of Living.